Hey, what's up, everyone? I hope everyone's doing well. Something I kind of want to touch on today that's been on my mind, weighing on my mind heavily, is kind of like the effects that I'm seeing in society as a result of these two communities on social media. You guys might know about like the Red Pill movement or the MGTOW movement. You guys might also know about like the feminist movement. Now, I'm not saying that these are inherently bad, but I do believe that they are causing some negative, like it's causing like a negative ripple within like society. Um, you're seeing a difference in the way that a lot of men and women move. You know, you're seeing a difference in the decisions that they make, and it's having a negative effect on like, our views on things like relationships, marriage, trust, all of that nature. And to be quite honest, it's very depressing because when you think of it like through that lens, you want to educate individuals, but you don't want to scare them away from living life. And I do believe that is causing that to a certain degree. A good example that I can give of that, we'll start with the red pill community, is you have a lot of different guys on YouTube that will teach you, to never love a woman, to never be in love with a woman, or you'll have some say things like you can have love for her, but you can't be in love with her, which I think what they're really trying to say with that statement is to find a healthy level of love within the relationship. Now, I don't think it's silly to fall in love, but I think we have a false idea of what love really is between, a man and woman. I think we don't really have a realistic representation of that. I think movies and social media have done a good job of exaggerating what that looks like. I think we also kind of have this false idea that true love is supposed to be unconditional. And I think we also forget that even if we do love somebody, we may lie to them or they may lie to us because we're human beings at the end of the day. I think that what we need to do is to kind of take a step back and just analyze, ourselves and kind of look at things and through a lens of like, am I being realistic? What is it that I'm asking of the other person? I think when we set expectations, we just need to set realistic expectations. We need to understand that times are changing, people are evolving, and social media is becoming more integrated in everyday life, and that's having an effect on our psychology and the way that we move and the way that we treat others. And I think sometimes it's nice to take a step back and just have like a healthy examination of reality and understand that, you, even if you do love somebody, even if you have an interest in them, there may be times where they don't reciprocate it. You might be betrayed. You might be the one to betray the individual. It all just really depends on circumstances. And I think that brings me to another point. Something else I don't like is a lot of these negative qualities are being associated with specific, gender groups. Like, women behave XYZ, men do XYZ because of this and or that. In reality, what I have found is a lot of these things that they bring up, while there may be a higher percentage in certain, depending on the gender, there may be a higher percentage of women who have more sexual experience. There may be a higher percentage of men who think it's okay to, sleep around and they can still be in love with that one woman. I think it's more of an individualistic thing. I don't think you can say with all certainty that it belongs selectively to one gender or one group of people because of their gender. My reason for this is because of my experience with women, and what I found is, and real shocker, they're not all the same. They're not all the same. Regardless of their access to social media, or their perceived social status, or their perceived level of beauty, opinions, choices, things of that nature are all shaped by your personal life experiences. And what I've often found is a lot of the women who tend to make these the more distasteful choices, I guess is the way I could put it. They have a lot of past unresolved trauma and a lot of negative life experiences that have led them to have this outlook on life, and makes them believe that it's okay to do this to other men. It makes them believe that it's okay to lie, to cheat, to behave a certain way in a relationship. There's also women who have a very addictive personality when it comes to social media. I don't necessarily think that it's completely bad. You know, it's opened up a lot of avenues for people with small businesses, underground music, things of that nature, which I think is pretty cool. But with the, with the good side of it, there comes a negative side of it. And it's built like a vicious, like, basically a new drug, a new form of addiction. Because, all those likes, all those heart emojis, all those clicks and everything do release a certain level of dopamine every time you see it. And anything that releases dopamine, we're going to chase that reward. And that is one of the new addictive drugs for a lot of women who choose to engage and use social media for their own personal pleasure like that. But I don't think that it means that all women are trash. I don't think that it means that all women are for the streets. I don't think that it means that all women will just choose whatever is the most convenient for them. And when the guy no longer suits their needs or they find someone else better, they're just going to go ahead and monkey branch to the next one. I don't think that every woman is like that, because even though I may hear those things online, I also know what I see in real life. And I'm pretty sure there are others who can agree with me. There are some people we know in relationships right now where we're asking ourselves, why is she still with him? She can do so much better. Why is she still supporting him? Why is she still by his side? And I know I'm not the only guy that's seen some relationships and asked myself that question. Hell, there have been some situations in my current relationship where I've had to sit back and ask myself, when I've made some mistakes, why is it that the woman that I'm with is choosing to stay with me and still engage with me? I don't feel like I deserve her right now. And I do also want to point out, it's not just the red pill community. It's also a little bit of the feminist community too. My understanding was this was something that originally started to help promote awareness, at least the modern version of it. We're not going to go all the way back into the history books and go, oh, so-and-so started back in this year to help start this move. We're not doing that. My understanding of what the modern day version was supposed to be was just to make sure that women are treated fairly and given equal opportunity. But what I've seen it turn into, primarily through a lot of social media pages, is not just women seeking equal opportunity, but trying to have the unfair advantage and basically cheat the system and win in every situation. Again, this isn't every woman, so I'm not sitting here saying that, all women are this way and shame on you females for behaving this way. I think it's just the community or the culture is now being misrepresented by a lot of people who are in positions of power or leadership and just spreading misinformation and teaching them the wrong ideology. I don't think it's okay for either a man or a woman to be overly promiscuous in order to gain attention, to gain power, or to gain a following. I don't think it's okay. What you choose to do in the bedroom, who you choose to sleep with, I think should remain private. Now, we know, obviously when people are dating or things of that nature, but I don't think it's okay to be bragging about your body count. I don't think it's okay to be bragging about, or better yet, let me rephrase this. I don't think it's okay to publicly shame or demean the opposing gender based off their sexual preference choices, lack of sexual experience, or having too much sexual experience. I think these types of things or these conversations and topics are reserved for two people who are, looking to be in a relationship with each other, trying to get to know one another and figuring out if they can approve or if they don't approve their potential partner's, life choices or lifestyle. I don't think it's for the general public, and I don't think that you should use any of these things to gain popularity. I think when we look at what it should be as a whole, is it should be used, again, for the sole purpose of trying to create a better environment in the workplace, with personal relationships, friendships, and seeking like equality and fair opportunity for both genders. Not just handing it over, not just all men are garbage, not just shaming men, but, you dare not say anything about a woman. No constructive criticism, no critiquing there, because it's toxic masculinity, or it's seen as, being a male chauvinist, or, manhandling, things of that nature. We've got to understand what a lot of these terms mean. We've got to stop throwing around words loosely and understand their actual definition. And even though I feel as though this video was kind of loose and all over the place, I just wanted to get this off my chest, because I feel as though it's causing a lot of negative effects in the way that I see a lot of people interact with each other, primarily on the social media space. It's making people say a lot of foolish things, and I really just kind of hope that others can kind of put themselves in a position like myself, where you really just kind of want to take a step back and analyze things for what they are, and not just what others are saying. And at the end of the day, what you do have to keep in mind, how do you feel about things? Do you necessarily care about the opinion of everybody else? How does this help you? What do you think? What do you feel? These are all, it really boils down to how you feel as a person and what you truly desire. And I hope that there are others like myself who are not going to let current trendy topics or ideas completely influence their thinking or their emotions towards another individual, because I do believe that everybody should have at least a chance at feeling what love is, whether it be permanent or not. I think it's a nice feeling when you do fall in love with, another woman, and I want other young men like myself to feel that a couple times in their life, even if it's just once, even if you do get hurt. The risk is worth the reward. You might be heartbroken, but we can't always live in fear of being hurt. And when you do get hurt, stop trying to mask the pain or run from it. Sometimes you just got to go through with it and let it wash over you, because that's the quickest way to get over something, is to let your pain process wash over you. And then eventually, one day you'll wake up and you'll be fine again. There's no need to exaggerate. There's no need to say like such harsh things like they're absolute truths in order to feel some comfort from within. Anywho, that's just my 2 cents. I'll see you guys later.